So we're talking mixed martial arts tonight on Let's Talk Sports. Before we head down into more of the show, Bob Daigle, from the organizer of mixed martial arts, is here in the studio with us this evening. Bob, we just talked to Tim as well. For the local fighters, what's the reaction when you go back to the local crew of fighters and tell them, hey guys, I've been inviting Kenny Florian here, the businesses are backing us. What was the reaction from those guys?
Well, we had a meeting a few weeks ago at Aqua Beach, and we let everyone know what our plans are, what our vision was. Some of them were speechless. At the end of our meeting, they end up just erupting in applause. They're just so excited, they're so supportive, and they're really, really supportive of our sponsors. Again, if it wasn't for our sponsors, Hard Rock Cafe, Red Bull, Aqua Beach, Delta, and several other companies right here, your company, this really wouldn't be possible.
Cayman Distributor is one of the sponsors for the tournament. From your point of view as a sponsor, what attracted you to joining on to Bob's idea? You may be an MMA fan, but from a business standpoint, where do you see this benefiting you?
Well, I think it's twofold. Anheuser-Busch has a pretty storied history of being involved with sports internationally. And when Bob and his team approached us about being involved with this MMA event, we were, it's pretty natural for us to want to be involved with Bud Light's involvement with UFC North America. So, like I say, we were very excited to jump on board. We see this as being a very great thing for Grand Cayman, as well as great exposure for our brand, Bud Light.
Cayman Distributors attracted to those huge crowds that you see every weekend when there's a big UFC, not even sometimes during the week when there's a UFC fight going on. Bob, what led to these big crowds here in Grand Cayman? I know they've put on a few MMA events, proving ground events, a couple of times, but do you think that helped to stoke the fire of the MMA lovers here on the island?
Oh, it definitely did. It definitely paved the way for what we're about to do. Again, I'm a big boxing fan as well. But what's happening is with boxing, they're not putting on the best fights. And with the UFC, what they're doing is they're really putting the effort in to set up the best fights possible. And they've embraced technology, the web and everything. And so it's really getting out there. It's not just the younger generation. The A-list of Hollywood stars are going, and it is a very exciting event to go to.
What's the ultimate goal for the organization, Bob?
The ultimate goal, is the Ultimate Fighting Championships, and that is for us to be able to host a pay-per-view event. Like this weekend, UFC in Las Vegas 114 is going on. We want to be someday, UFC is being hosting an event in the Cayman Islands, pay-per-view, and we believe it's possible, because what better backdrop to have a UFC event than the Cayman Islands?
Boxing has accomplished this a few years ago in 2007 when we had Top Rank here. I think it was Showtime, rather.
Yes.
Pay-per-view in 2007. What else do we have to put in place for MMA to be even more interested? Ultimate Fighting Championship coming here and putting on a pay-per-view event.
Well, what you need you need a sanctioning body, and we just secured that last night. My instructor and his partner are the sanctioning body now for MMA in Massachusetts. They will be coming down and certifying our referees, running our shows, licensing, and they were here for 10 years running the Cayman Airways International Karate Championships. They know the benefits of Cayman, the beauty of Cayman, and that was the missing link, and now we took care of that.
How can a local fighter get involved with not only these seminars but in the MMA circle, as you would want to put it?
Well, what we suggest to do is to join our website. It's www.caymanmma.ning.com. We are going to feed a lot of information to all the people that are interested in mixed martial arts. We have every 3 to 4 months a superstar coming to the Cayman Islands.
Right.
And what's going to happen is there's talk right now of MMA schools opening in Grand Cayman, and people are training in their camps right now. We're not going to have a seminar and not put it to good use. We're going to train.
Bob, as we all know you as one of the bullet men during the self-defense technology that's so popular here as well. Can MMA training be used as self-defense training as well, since the popularity with it is such across the board? Men and women alike love the sport, it seems. Can it be used as a self-defense tool?
Well, I got to say that MMA fighters are modern-day gladiators, but it is a sport. We have to separate the two. Out there in the street with knives, guns, and gangs, it's a different story. They also need this training, and we actually in Fast Defense have been making moves to get into the UFC. We are actually going to be teaching seminars at some of the top fighters schools in the U.S. And it'll be a perfect marriage between Fast Defense and the UFC.
From the business standpoint, Cayman Distributors steps in now. What is the word from the business community? Because you guys, I'm sure you keep close tabs on each other and what you're getting involved in. From the standpoint of Cayman Distributors, what's the mood about such a big step made by Mr. Daigle and his organizers going forward and inviting some of the world's top athletes, their athletes here to the Cayman Islands?
Well, just speaking for us, I mean, you can't help but get excited. Bob's pretty contagious in his enthusiasm. I'm fairly new to the island, but I'm amazed by the contingent of fans of the MMA on the islands. And like I said, we hope this is a long and fruitful relationship because I see it being nothing but good for Grand Cayman.
Nothing but good is right. Bob, from your standpoint, though, as one of the organizers, how busy are you in terms of getting ready to have such a big star like Kenny Florian here? You have to have the media sorted, his hotel, his people coming down. How busy is it?
I start at 6:30 and I finish at 3 a.m. I get about 3 hours a night of sleep, but I'm pumped up, I'm excited. We just started our plans for our big show. We're going to have a big event here in Grand Cayman with a 15-fight card with top performers. My instructor and his partner have the John Paul Mitchell World Karate Team, the longest running sports karate team in the world with the best performers on the planet. They are all set to come to be part of our show, and we are ready to launch this year.
This is also a chance for you guys to give back to the community. Final question, Bob.
Well, we also plan is doing some charitable work. We want our fighters are athletes. A lot of them go to college, you know, they're not thugs, they are disciplined athletes. And we want them to be role models for Cayman's youth. And we want to actually help raise some money for charity. We have a goal is to have a celebrity fight this year at our show.
Do not include me in that, Bob. No way.
Oh, really? Okay. We were talking about that. We're happy to do it. But we actually want to have the celebrity fight sponsored by the business community, and for all that sponsorship from that fight to go to a charity.
We get Vanessa signed up for the celebrity fight in the MMA, and she's quite talented. You'll see her later on doing some yoga. She has the poses and all, the prayer mantis, everything going well. But thanks so much for joining us this evening, Bob. It's been a pleasure. All the best of luck to you and the rest of the MMA organization as you get ready to invite one of the sport's biggest names. It's like Usain Bolt coming to the Cayman Islands. Stay tuned for that. We'll have much more on Let's Talk Sports coming up after this.